So this is Zeo Gaming, as you can see here. This video is going to be about Crysis 2. You can see in a few seconds the game's going to start up. This is the first actual mission in the game after like the intro to the game and everything. And this gameplay is on the AMD Radeon HD 6870. The Radeon HD 6870. It's a Sapphire Flex Edition model, which basically means it supports Eyefinity very well and everything like that. But this is an Eyefinity gameplay since that doesn't really work very well with YouTube. Instead, it's just at a 1600 by 900 resolution, and it's all ultra, except they don't have that DirectX 11 advanced texture packs or whatever, since it wouldn't actually let me download it for some reason. But you can see here, this is the game. And this is actually the whole mission. I'm not going to cut any little bit out of it, so you can just get a nice, really long, sort of just gameplay video of the game on the graphics card. This graphics card it is. It's a graphics card here. It's not really any high-end graphics card. It's more of a mid-range to upper mid-range graphics card. It's going to be $200 about, and it's running along with my Core i5-2500K overclocked at 4.5 gigahertz. And 4 gigs of RAM and a 64 gigabyte Crucial M4 SSD. That's just a little bit of my specs, and the game really just runs perfectly on this graphics card with the ultra settings. I didn't get to see the actual frame rates since it was recording, and it kind of capped it at 30 frames per second, but it never dipped below 30 frames per second in this gameplay video, which is good news for this graphics card. And when I was doing the first mission, or like the first sort of intro thing to the game, it was at like 50 frames per second, so this graphics card doesn't have any real problems with this game. And I'm guessing if you lower the graphics stage just a little bit, you'll be able to do Eyefinity without any major issues. I'll maybe try that in the future and maybe talk about it. But I said previously that I was going to do some Battlefield 3 gameplay, and you might wonder why this isn't Battlefield 3 gameplay. I've been actually playing a lot of Battlefield 3, more specifically the multiplayer game, and it's actually really fun on multiplayer. It's a little bit hard to get used to since it's a little bit different from Call of Duty and stuff that I've been playing previously, but once you get used to it, it's a whole lot more fun and interesting since the map's much bigger. There's like a capture the flag sort of thing. I think it's called Conquest on Battlefield 3, where you basically go around and capture flags for your team, and if you get like a tank or something, you can just pwn with some guys in the tank and you can just drive around, get on the flag. Some guys can shoot off the enemies and everything while you're driving the tank, and it's really fun. I haven't really gotten able to learn how to drive the helicopter correctly. I always crash it, but I'm going to work on that as time goes on, because it's probably a good way to do it, since I don't think everyone can fly one of those helicopters, since they're a lot different from a tank. And tanks are pretty easy to drive since they're kind of like racing games. You just use the normal keys to move the tank around. You can shoot and everything too. Not anything incredibly new. But the thing about that game, I've been recording the gameplay of it with Fraps, but Fraps doesn't really work well with it. I don't think I have the most up-to-date version of Fraps. I can maybe try to update, but it doesn't really work very well with the Battlefield 3 game. Because normally when I play the game, it doesn't lag at all in multiplayer, but when I record with Fraps, or even have Fraps open, it kind of lags, it freezes up sometimes, and it just isn't really great to play online, because since you're playing online multiplayer, you really need to have a really good frame rate, so you can just have an advantage, since the game runs a lot smoother, and you'll be able to get the gun up and aim at the guy before the guy even loads the gun or something like that. But it's just a lot better to play multiplayer if you have good frame rates without any major lag. But this graphics card doesn't have any major lag issues. I did do a step down from the ultra settings to the high settings. It ran fine with the ultra settings, but it kind of had some loading issues. It paused up for for a little bit. That might be more of an issue with the game and not really an issue with the graphics card. That's what I'm kind of expecting and what I'm thinking. But the game, it's still kind of buggy actually. Around the whole game, it's kind of buggy. I don't really know why it's still buggy, but I'm hoping that EA and Battlefield 3 will get some more updates, and eventually it won't be as buggy, and eventually maybe some Fraps updates will make Fraps work with the game and everything, and in the future maybe they can have some gameplay videos of Battlefield 3 multiplayer. But I might try to do some more campaign gameplay, since I think that might work a little bit better. Since that's what I did originally and didn't have many issues, I did have to stop and start the recording multiple times. But I'm pretty sure it's not my hardware, since I have a really fast SSD, a really fast CPU, and a good graphics card. So I'm pretty sure it's not basically the graphics card there or my system that's the issue. I think it's Fraps. And you can see here this game even has a little bit of lag in the recording, but like when you're switching tracks and everything. But it doesn't. I don't really experience that when I'm actually playing the game. It's more of just a Fraps issue. And if you have more of a lightweight video recorder for games, please let me know. Since Fraps, it's not really all that great. It works really well if the game supports it and everything works well. But there's a lot of times with games like Battlefield 3 that don't really record well with Fraps. I don't know why specifically, but I really kind of want to record gameplay videos of Battlefield 3. But it won't really let me. But this game right here, it's Crysis 2. I decided to play that since I haven't really played it yet with this graphics card, or even on the system much at all. Since the 450, it didn't run it all that amazing. And I kind of like games to run well on my system. I don't like having low frame rates. So I'm not someone who'll have ultra settings just to make it all look good and have low frame rates. I'll only have ultra settings if the game runs fine on the ultra settings, since I don't really like lag on the games. And one game that'll probably run fine on ultra settings is Modern Warfare 3, which is going to come out on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. And I already have it preloaded on this system, so I'll be able to get up and playing as soon as I wake up in the morning on Tuesday, and get some gameplay videos out later in the day on Tuesday. So stay tuned for that. Modern Warfare 3 gameplay on the PC. Multiplayer and single player will probably do the multiplayer first, since that's really one of the big things that keeps Call of Duty going and most of these games going. Most of them don't have amazing storylines, since a lot of times the storylines have been kind of done already, so they got to kind of, it takes a while to think up new things, and a lot of times they just kind of repeat older things and merge them and do that kind of stuff. With the multiplayer, it's not really about the story, it's more of just having fun, more competitive stuff, playing against friends, doing that kind of stuff. It's just combat, and that's really what multiplayer is, and why it's good, and why people still play multiplayer games. I haven't actually played the multiplayer on this game yet, and same with Crysis, Original, and Warhead, and all that, but I'll probably try to get some gameplay videos of those out, and maybe play those games with multiplayer and everything too. But I have a whole list of games I'm working on getting some gameplay videos out. But this game, I recorded this whole mission. It's kind of funny, since in all this gameplay, it's like 38 minutes long, and it's 68 gigs of basically video. So I'll have to see how well that turns out when I'm uploading it to YouTube, but it might take a little while. But of course, when I export it, it's probably going to be less, maybe 2 gigabytes, which might take a while still, but we'll have to see how long that is to upload and everything. But I didn't really want to cut anything out, since it's not like multiplayer where things are a lot shorter, except on Battlefield 3, the multiplayer missions can be quite long depending on who you're playing with, how good the enemy teams are, and all that. But Battlefield 3, one of the good things about it, again, is the really big maps. I really like that when compared to Call of Duty. And the big maps aren't like just open and everything. There's a ton of cover. You can actually go inside of buildings, like lots of buildings, and buildings can be destroyed too, because tanks can blow up walls off of buildings and everything, which is just a whole lot better than Call of Duty, where the walls are there. There are buildings, and you can't go into all of them, but the walls are there, and they don't really get destroyed or anything. But Battlefield 3, it's like a whole lot of dynamic aspects of the game, which I really, really like on multiplayer. I haven't had enough experience with the campaign, though, since I haven't really been playing it. It's had some issues with saving, so I've had to redo a mission several times, and I don't really like that. Another issue with Battlefield 3 is sometimes when I open multiplayer, the game opens up, and all the stuff says it's loaded and everything on the origin and everything. But when it opens up the game, it's just a black screen, and then it just stays there, and I don't hear any audio or anything. So I had to close the game and open it back up, and then I had to hear the audio and see the thing to make sure it's actually going to load the mission and everything. But it's kind of a weird glitch. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing it, but I'm assuming many people have experienced the same sort of glitches on the PC side of Battlefield 3. I don't really know a whole lot about the console side, but this game was designed for the PC, so I'm assuming the consoles might have even more issues, but I don't know. Since I haven't played the game on a console since the beta, where I played it on the PS3, but I also played it on the PC, and they're both kind of buggy. But we'll have to see how well that is. I think my brother's going to get the PS3 version of Battlefield 3 at some point, so we can kind of compare the two. But I know the gameplay and the graphics are a whole lot better on the PC version. Just looking at the gameplay videos on YouTube from people with the PS3 and Xbox alike, they both have very, very less quality graphics when compared to the PC, especially when you go up to the ultra settings and high settings, which just look amazing. It's like just incredible how the game just looks. It just makes games like this look bad, actually. Even though it looks amazing, it just looks a lot less than Battlefield 3, which just looks amazing. But both games actually run pretty good on this system. I'm gonna make some Crysis videos maybe later this weekend, I don't know specifically. And I'll also do some Dirt 3 videos, since as you might know, we are giving away a copy of Dirt 3 at one point, so Dirt 3 gameplay is gonna come out, and that's kind of when I'm gonna announce the giveaway details and everything in the video. So you can see the game, you can do the things you need to win the giveaway and everything, and then you're done. And maybe one of you is gonna win it, and we're not gonna send you a copy. We're gonna basically give you a code where you can redeem it in Steam, which is a good way to get it. And Steam's really nice since you can basically install it on multiple computers, and you don't even have to have a CD or anything like that. You just have to have enough space on your hard drive, and hard drives are pretty big nowadays, so it's not really a big issue or anything. And kind of like relating to this Crysis game, it's kind of funny how Crysis and Crysis 2 are so much different. I've been playing Crysis, the original one, and it's just a whole lot harder than Crysis 2. And both have on like the normal settings. They're like different names, not normal, but the normal settings in this game is just so much easier than the original Crysis. The original Crysis, you'll have to think, and you'll have to take advantage of all your like features, like the cloak and all that. And you really have to watch out and make sure you don't use too much ammo and everything like that. But this game, you still have to watch out about your ammo, but it's still nothing compared to the Crysis, the original one, at least in my opinion and my experience with the games. Might be a little bit different for different people and everything like that, but Crysis 2 just seems a whole lot easier. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Maybe it'll be the same if I increase the difficulty to maybe the hard or extremely hard or veteran or whatever it's called, or extreme, I don't know what it's going to be called, but whatever is higher than normal, or whatever it's the highest difficulty, maybe then they'll be more similar and everything like that if you want more difficult. But I'm fine with normal difficulty, because I didn't even really have to die. I only died at the beginning over there when I jumped off the edge thinking I'd be fine, but I wasn't. But this game's actually pretty fun. This gameplay still has a little while to go. About it's not even really halfway through quite yet, but I don't have a whole lot more to say about the game and the gameplay and everything. But I'm gonna kind of wrap this up with some information about Zeal Gaming and everything like that. This is a channel part of Zeal Gaming. It's kind of like a website, zealstudios.net/gaming. It's kind of like a subsite of Zeal Studios. You may have heard of zealstudios.net. Zeal Studios is about technology news and that kind of stuff, while Zeal Gaming is about gameplay, video games, that kind of stuff, and not really technology necessarily, even though gaming kind of goes along with technology, but they're still kind of different, so that's why they're separate. And they're also separate channels that make it easier for the staff members of Zeal Gaming to upload their own videos when they want to, whenever they want to, more frequently and everything like this. So there are a few Zeal Gaming YouTube channels. There's Liam Quaid on YouTube, Isaiah Thorne on YouTube, and Colin Quaid on YouTube. So 3 channels where we will publish gaming videos. And you can also check out Zeal Studios, that channel. It's not like Zeal Studios, it's the name of the channel, but it's not the URL of the channel. It's actually Cousin ND Zeal on YouTube for the Zeal Studios one where there's tech updates, that kind of stuff. Where this is more of just gameplay and that kind of stuff. But this Liam Quaid channel you're viewing right now, I'll be publishing videos at least once a week, maybe even more. Like this week I did 2, I think, right? I mean, no, Battlefield 3 I did 1, and then right here I did the Crysis 2 on this day, and next week I'll probably do 2 as well, or more than 2 maybe, even since Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is coming out, and that's kind of a big game, and hopefully it will work well with Fraps. I'm guessing it will, but I'm not exactly sure. And then subscribe to all these channels will make going to the giveaway a little bit easier, since that's going to be one of the things you have to do. You have to subscribe to all of us. We'll check and make sure you're subscribed. Although I think we'll do other ways to get it, because I don't think everyone has a YouTube account, but we'll check that out. You all have to subscribe to us, and then you'll have to comment on probably either the YouTube video or the blog post. I'm thinking we're doing the blog post, since that'll allow you to interact with us on YouTube by subscribing, and on the Zeal Studios.net/gaming by commenting, and that kind of way we'll get everything settled and everything like that. Comment with your YouTube username, and we'll go through that. Pick a random person out of the comments, and then after we found the random person, we'll make sure they're all subscribed to us, and that's what we'll do. Give that person a copy of Dirt 3 and everything. And we don't know when we're going to do that giveaway. It's probably going to happen sometime next week at some point, maybe Wednesday or Friday. Oh yeah, we'll probably do it on Friday if we can, but I don't know for sure. Maybe Wednesday if we can do it a little bit earlier. And if we can't do it like that, we'll do it exactly 1 week from today, on Saturday, this coming Saturday. So stay tuned for that. Whenever you see the Dirt 3 gameplay on Zeal, or this gaming channel, Zeal Gaming, then you'll be sure to be able to read and get the specific details and what to do to win the giveaway. And then once that's over, we'll try to give more stuff away in the future for Zeal Gaming and everything like that. But before that happens, we'll kind of want this blog and everything to take off. And to have it take off, I think the viewers have to be pleased and get what they want. And I think many people want Crysis 2, many people don't. And many people want Battlefield 3, many don't. Many want Modern Warfare 3, many don't. So just please comment and kind of say what kind of videos you want to see on this channel and other Zeal Gaming channels, and what content you want to see in the blog and everything like that. Since we don't know what you want, then we don't really know what to publish, and we want to publish what you want to see on the stuff. So just kind of comment, tell us what you want, what games you want to see, what kind of content you want to see, what you want us to talk about during the gameplay videos, and those sorts of things. Because we'll be happy to do what you want in like the videos and everything. So just comment. We haven't had any real people should suggest anything, but just kind of stay tuned. And that's about it for this video. Well, I guess me talking in the video, the remaining part of the video is still about 20 minutes long, so just kind of stay tuned. And of course you can always skip parts and do that kind of stuff by just moving the little scroller bar or whatever it's called on YouTube to move from a certain time to another time. So you can just kind of do that to get some more action if you want more action or more sneaky moves and stuff, if you want more of that. So just stay tuned, and more videos will come, and that's about it.
cell are all over the place. I've got to bail. I'll meet you back at the lab. Hurry!
Remain calm. You will be taken to a separate area for immediate treatment.
So much for containment. Poor bastard. Yeah. Those EMAT guys never had a hope in hell. You see those bodies back there? Melting and shit. Primary target. Oh, shit!
How safe is your home against an earthquake? You might think that's an odd question if you don't live in California, but you'd be wrong. Increased seismic activity over the last 3 years is a statistical fact across the continental United States. And it's affecting areas previously thought safe from any serious earthquake threat. From New York State, Michelle Sikorsky has this.
Yes, Derek, for decades. Attempting system restart. Pre-purge active. Pre-purge complete. Stand by. Magnetic seals released. Warning. Foreign contaminant detected. Automatic system shutdown commencing.
Force open security doors.
Listen, something pretty massive just happened to the suit line. Whole thing went down. I think it's back now, but you better get here fast. Everything's falling apart. Infected all over the place. Poor bastards. Cellar out on the cull. Plus the Zephyr's starting to show up too. Look, stick to the subways. It's gotta be safer than the streets. Hope you brought those Marines.
Find the subway entrance. Now
Maybe the subway wasn't the best idea. I'm reading dozens of heat signatures right underneath you. Watch your step down there.
Nanovision enabled.
Oh shit! Shit! Get off me! Get the fuck off me! Ah!
Nanovision enabled.
I think I've done everything I can to cure them all. Thanks God. You guys gotta be ready for that. Gotta be clean. Gotta be clean inside. Inside's where it counts. I've done everything I can. Everything.
Do not believe media bullshit. There is some weird shit going down in this.
It's a nest! Get out of there, Prophet!
Find an alternate route.
Terrorist, man. Gotta be. Some African jungle shit. Something maybe. Spray looking for him. Look at me, man. Look at me!
Intercepting enemy transmission.
This is Commander Lockhart to all cell personnel.